guys, I'm Golden Nova, and this here's Sean Connery 86753090, all that stuff. And we're here exploring the Necrovalley of Obscurity, looking for old decks to add to our collection. Ain't that right?
That is most definitely right.
Got it. Oh, hey, look over there, I think I found one.
Who the heck is Marek Ishtar? Wait, it might be dangerous. We need something to replace it with. So, you know, you've seen the movies.
You're right. I've got it.
Just go for it!
Okay!
Don't mess it up!
Well, I'm glad that worked out. Oh, not again.
Nova? What are you doing in my room?
It's not your room. It's the Necrovalley of Obscurity.
Ah!
Quick, Sean, we're out of here! Oh, please, no. Please. We were just filming a video. I didn't mean to. Oh, God.
Not so fast! Yeah, the power of Christ compels you!
Oh my God, holy water! It burns like 1,000 hot suns!
The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!
It's not worth it, man. We gotta go. Oh, no. They got Sean. No, not Sean! Anyone but Sean! Why couldn't it have been Robot? Oh, there you are.
Oh.
Did you get the goods?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Hey guys, I'm Golden Nova. And this is the return of...
Sean Connery, 86753090.
Awesome.
Don't wear it out.
Now, what we just recovered was the treasure of the ancient Necrovalley of Obscurity. The Gravekeepers.
Dun, dun, dun.
With the recent support, they've become a pretty interesting archetype, and some people have been saying that Gravekeepers are more of a splashable deck than, you know, make pure Gravekeepers. But, Sean here is about to prove us wrong.
Definitely.
So, resident Gravekeeper expert, run us through this thing.
Okay, let's go.
We're starting with Gravekeeper Spy. This deck sees a lot of use in a bunch of other decks, namely Synchro Cat, but it's all the more important in a Gravekeeper deck. Its flip effect is that, you know, once it's flipped, you special summon a Gravekeeper with 1500 or less attack from your deck, which means you can get another Spy to build up your defenses, or virtually every other Gravekeeper except Visionary.
Probably another important card in the deck is Gravekeeper's Assailant. Well, Assailant mainly is great for getting around cards like Honest, for example, because when it declares an attack when Necrovalley is on the field, you can choose to switch the position of one of your opponent's monsters. So yeah, it's great for getting around those nasty high defense monsters.
Gravekeeper's Priest is a pretty techy card. While it's on the field counts as if Necrovalley were on it, so effects that rely on it become more dependable. Also, all Gravekeepers gain an extra 200 attack and defense while she's on the field.
Alright, Gravekeeper Spear Soldier. Gravekeeper Spear Soldier, when you attack a defense position monster, it's pretty much just like a Blade Edge, guys. So, it's piercing.
Sanguine is your basic searcher, and since most monsters in this deck are 1500 less attack, you'll have a wide spread of cards to search with.
Gravekeeper's Commandant. Alright, well, he's great for attack because when Necrovalley is on your side of the field, he has 2100 attack. Also, from your hand, you can discard him to search for one Necrovalley and add it to your hand. It's great. It's a great searcher, just like Terraforming.
Caius the Shadow Monarch. It makes excellent monster removal in this deck, and for the 2400 attack, it's going to be your beater. A lot of the cards, or the lower level cards in this deck, their effects rely a lot on having Necrovalley on the field, so you won't have problems picking tribute fodder for this guy. Well, you don't have Necrovalley on the field, so he's kind of like your backup attacker.
Gravekeeper's Guard. When it's in face-down defense position and your opponent declares an attack, it's flip face up. You can then choose to return one of their monsters on their side of the field to their hand, which is really great for getting rid of synchros and those nasty high attackers.
Gravekeeper's Descendant. If you know Hand of the Six Samurai, it's basically that. You tribute one other Gravekeeper to destroy one card your opponent controls. It's very good monster destruction in and of the fact that it turns every monster you control, bar Descendant, into an exiled force that can hit the entire field.
Necrovalley is your key staple card in the deck. For mainly, it gives all face-up Gravekeeper monsters 500 attack and defense, and also it stops your opponent and you from targeting in the graveyard. But cards such as Mystic Tomato and Sangan would not get by it because they target themselves, so it gets around it. Also, cards in the graveyard cannot be removed from play, so activating effects such as Dark Arm Dragon would not be helpful. Good card that's in this deck would be Gravekeeper's Stele. Its effect is select 2 Gravekeeper's monsters in your graveyard and add them to your hand. This card cannot be negated by the effect of Necrovalley, so it's great for returning stuff to your hand. Let's say you have 2 spies in the graveyard, you can just bring them back.
Royal Tribute makes for some hilarious dueling situations. While Necrovalley is on the field, you can activate this card and both players drop all the monsters out of their hands. You're basically forcing both players to go into a top deck situation if the field is iffy.
Book of Moon is great for cards such as Spy or Guard that have flip effects.
Other cards that are good for this deck is Allure of Darkness, since every Gravekeeper except Commandment is a dark. And MST, Heavy Storm, and Lightning Vortex, your staples.
A good card to run in the deck is probably Royal Oppression. Royal Oppression I'd say because if Spy is face down and you have this card activated on the field, you still get Spy's effect if your opponent attacks Spy. This is because during the damage step, it's just like Gorse. You can't negate its summon.
We have Bottomless Trap Hole. You know, if you're not running it, you probably ought to. It's a good way to avoid overpowered monsters facing your Gravekeepers, which are only about 15 themselves.
Rite of Spirit is pretty much your Call of the Haunted of the deck, as I should say, Monster Reborn. It's a trap card, and its effect is select 1 monster card that includes Gravekeepers in its name and special summon to your side of the field from the graveyard. This effect cannot be negated by Necrovalley, so it's great for a great substitute for Call of the Haunted.
Trap Dust Shoot plays very well in this deck. If your opponent has 4 or more cards in their hand, you activate this, look at their hand, take 1 monster in it, and put it back in their deck. It works well against decks who rely on the graveyard for a lot of their support. So you look at their hand and shove a monster back in their deck that doesn't necessarily rely on the graveyard. Then you play Necrovalley, so you've chopped off a lot of their options.
Other great staples to have, Solemn Judgment, Mirror Force.
Well, I'm glad to see that the Gravekeeper deck is working pretty well.
I'm glad to see that our grave robbing antics will go greatly unpunished.
Hey Shawn, you want some juice?
Yes, juice is awesome. It's good for my awesomeness.
So one time at band camp, I took my deck box and I put it in my...
Oh, I love the smell of dark armed in the morning. Would you like some salt and pepper?
How about some pepper and salt?
So, some salt and pepper.
No, some salt and pepper.
Pepper and salt.
She's right there, isn't she?
Yes, I do believe so.
Let's book it.
Sounds good.
Oh!